Westmoreland Community Connections is a presentation of Citizens Fiber.
Welcome to Westmoreland Community Connections, a look at issues and happenings on Classic Hits 107.1 WHJB. Here now is your host, Chad Amond, President and CEO of the Westmoreland County Chamber of Commerce.
Hello and welcome to Westmoreland Community Connections. I'm your host, Chad Amond, President and CEO of the Westmoreland County Chamber of Commerce. I'm glad to have on the show today the YWCA, and Cindy Leonard is the Executive Director, and Alexis, Hough is the YWCAmakers Program Specialist. And thank you for being on the show.
Thanks for having us, Chad. How are you doing this morning?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Fine, thanks. Glad to be here.
Yeah, I'm glad to have you on the show. Give your background of why you are a part of the YWCA.
Well, I've been with various nonprofits for about 20, just going on over 20 years now. So nonprofit management is kind of my career. And before this, I had been driving to the Bear Center for Nonprofit Management in Pittsburgh, part of Robert Morris University, which was 3 hours of commuting a day.
Oh, yeah.
Super fun. But when the YWCA Executive Director position came open, I'm from Youngwood, so that's like 12 minutes from my house.
Yes.
And it's a cause, you know, the mission of the YWCA is eliminating racism and empowering women. So, you know, that's a cause that's near and dear to my heart. So I just had to try for it, and I got lucky. They saw something, I saw something.
Well, they made
a good match.
They made a good decision. You didn't get lucky, but
felt lucky to me.
Yeah, right. Alexis, give your background and why you joined YWCA.
Yeah, so I am a Pittsburgh area transplant. I grew up in West Virginia, and I met my husband at West Virginia University, and we moved back to Pittsburgh because that is where he is from. And I was doing a very long commute as well, very similar to Cindy. I was spending about an hour and 20 minutes commuting. I also came from Robert Morris University, working for the Women's Leadership and Mentorship Program. I love the work that we do, empowering women and helping these college women succeed in their next goals in life. And I knew that when I was ready to make a career change, that a mission similar to that was going to be really important to me. So I think that the mission alignment at the YWCA was perfect for my next move.
Well, so you brought up a few things that the YWCA has, but I mean, tell the listeners more about the YWCA.
We have so many programs. So the YWCA, like I said, eliminating racism and empowering women, and we don't see those as two separate mission goals. There's intersectionality, as they like to say in the sector. You'll hear that word a lot, especially when it comes to the YWCA. A lot of our programs focus on economic empowerment, and that includes the YWCAmakers program that we're going to talk about. But we've got the YWCA Thrift Shop. We have workshops, computer classes, wellness programs, a girls field hockey team, the Dragons, who their season was 11-1 this year. We were so proud of them.
Wow. They
kick butt, even against, they play their traveling team. They play private schools in Pittsburgh. You know, they are amazing. We have a preschool. We have summer camps, a variety of summer camps, regular day camp, as well as Tech Girls Camp, which is robotics camp for girls. We are starting a new camp this summer called Tech Girls Who Code. So we're gonna teach girls how to code this year.
We like
STEM programming.
Oh, okay.
We like STEM programming. Yeah. The idea is, you know, if a woman can be well employed, if she can have her own money, if she can manage her own money, she is likely to make, well, we hope, good decisions about her life. You know, she doesn't have to feel stuck. She doesn't have to feel like she's drowning. She has more control, so to speak. And so economic empowerment is one part of it. But, you know, also emotional and mental empowerment are also important.
What's your perspective, Alyssa?
Yeah, I think that especially because I'm pretty new to the Y, I've been here since December was my start date. One of the things that really surprised me and impressed me when I was looking into the position and looking into the Y was just how much that we do. There isn't just one facet of it. And then the fun thing is that everyone told me everyone's going to assume we have a pool. We don't have a pool. And I've been shocked by how much that is the reality of what people think. But I think what we're doing is kind of a hidden gem in a way. way. We have all of these options and resources to empower women, whether it's to bring their kids to our preschool so that then they can have a morning job to get their career back on track or something along those lines.
And two things about that. We call it a hidden gem. It's interesting because the board said, we're the best kept secret in Westmoreland County. I said, that has to change.
Yeah, that has to change.
The other thing is our national YWCA CEO, you mentioned the pool, Alexis. She likes to say that not all YWCAs have a pool, but we always help women when they feel like they're drowning. And that's it's just like a fun quote.
Oh,
That's what we do. It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So time goes by so fast. What's the work in 2020?
We have a number of things going on. So one big push, we're calling it civic engagement because it encompasses a few things. As we know, it's an election year, and regardless of what side of the fence you fall on or where you fall, it's very important that everybody gets out and votes. So we're going to be pushing voter registration, trying to engage with voters, get them to the polls. We are going to have at 424 North Main Street in Greensburg, if you don't know how to register, if you need help registering to vote, we will do that. All you have to do is come in the door during regular business hours. Another big push is the census. As we all know, there's billions of dollars at stake with the census that may or may not be allocated to Westmoreland County, depending on if people answer the census. And it's a short form year. It's, I think, 7 questions. It's 7 or 10 or something like
10,
that. Is it 10?
10 questions.
Okay.
I serve on the steering committee for the census.
You know these
things. It's so important.
It's critical.
It's not about politics. And we have to, the population in Westmoreland County is declining. And so many people don't sign up for the census. And so that's what we have to focus on.
Absolutely. So that's another thing. If you want to take the census at our office, you can come in and we will help you through it. If you want to, maybe you don't want to do the paper form. Maybe you want to do it online, but you're not sure how. Let's see. Our big Sports Women of the Year Awards Banquet is coming up. We've got that in April, and that's always a good event. Our keynote speaker, we just booked her, is Chelsea Bartlow, who, she was a recipient of the award. I think it was last year. She just graduated from WCCC. The girl's, she's something. Besides being an athlete, she went to school for engineering there, and she got employed right out of school at Siemens. So smart, athletic, well-spoken, amazing young lady. So we're excited about that. If anybody's interested in attending, you can check out our website. All the information's there. We will announce the winners as soon as we know them. So another big thing that happens in April. April's a big month for us.
Yeah.
April is the National Stand Against Racism campaign that the YWCA runs. And so last year we partnered that event with the Greensburg Arts Walk, and we held the event in our thrift shop. So this year it's going to be the YWCA art contest. We will do in advance, display the winners at the thrift shop. We'll have a sale at the thrift shop. We'll have a table where you can register to vote, probably take the census, all that good stuff. And it's just a good fun time.
So what does that event handle?
The idea, it used to be just come to the office and sign a pledge, or go to a partner location and sign a pledge. And we still display the pledge in the window, but we want people to come in and see that there's more about the YWCA than signing a pledge. A pledge is nice. A pledge is, that's saying I stand against racism. But we do more than that, and we want you to be part of that. We want to bring people in the door.
So, Alexis, you are the program specialist for the YWCAmakers. Tell the listeners about the YWCAmakers program.
Yeah, so much like me, the YWCAmakers program is brand new to the YWCA Westmoreland County. We call it a maker to market program, but we want to kind of break that down in that a maker is someone who's making homemade, handmade, one-of-a-kind goods that are for everyday use. And to market means that we're going to be equipping them with business skills, the networking opportunities, and even featured selling space in our thrift shop to help empower them to begin their own business. We see this as an opportunity for people to come to us, learn these skills, and either supplement, or even if the goal is to replace their income, we want to help equip them to make that possible. And I was really drawn to the program on this basis, but Cindy has a great story as to what kind of inspired the Makers program and bringing it to the YWCA.
So who can join the Makers program?
Yeah, so it is anyone 18 years and older who considers themselves a maker. And like we said, our loose definition of maker is someone who's making handmade, one-of-a-kind goods. Residents of Westmoreland County will get priority and registration, but anyone in southwestern PA is welcome to apply if they have interest.
Well, how is it going to positively impact the makers for the program?
Yeah, so members of our cohort, we're going to take on people who will come through our tuition-based cohort program. And so those makers will go through 12 weeks of business courses. Anything from marketing and branding to selling online, to helping understand how you should sell and price competitively in the market. We'll also provide for them a 30 days featured selling space in our YWCA thrift shop on Maple Avenue in Greensburg. So we're doing a nice little renovation, and we'll be unveiling our Maker's Corner here soon. And they will get 30 days of consigned space there to bring their products in. And we're going to do some really fun programming there, and would love to partner with local partners interested in doing anything around that programming, some exclusive shopping opportunities.
Well, Alexis, you're a rookie. I mean, you just started in December.
Yeah.
Cindy, tell the listeners why you started this Makers program.
So we were looking to renew a grant, and the program officer at the foundation told me about a need for this in Westmoreland County, and how great it could be if somebody were to figure out a program that would help makers to get better at their business. And I thought about it, and at first it's like, wait, how does this even match our mission, So I pondered it for a while, and interestingly enough, so part of the spark, the inspiration for the program that it was, I had a best friend who passed away it's going on 2 years in April now, actually. But she was a maker. She was a stay-at-home mom, and she just made stuff, so much stuff. Her husband is still cleaning out stuff. She never sold anything. She just loved to make. Anything was fair game, trash, whatever, stuff she found at thrift shops. Ooh, look, there's hodgepodge glue. I never knew what hodgepodge glue was before.
What is hodgepodge glue?
I'm not sure. She used it all the time. It's like a clear, it dries clear. It's almost like silicone caulk in the sense, but you spread it over things. Oh. So you can make puffy, painted, you can coat things with it. That's a Rhiannon question, I would say. Yeah. So anyway, so she was a maker. I bugged her all the time. I said, Rhi, why don't you sell your stuff? You could be making some money, supplement the household income. And I'm not businessy. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to sell online. I can't, And it at one point, you have those flash moments where all the dots connected, and I said, geez, this is a program that would have helped my friend. So why don't we, there have to be other people out there. Why don't we help them all? And that's how that got going.
Well, this is a good conversation, but we are going to be back after these messages.
This is Westmoreland Community Connections on Classic Hits 107.1 WHJB. If you have a suggestion for a topic, or if your nonprofit organization would like to be featured on this program, call us during regular business hours at 724-216-1200.
Westmoreland Community Connections is a presentation of Citizens Fiber.
Hello and welcome back to Westmoreland Community Connections. I'm your host, Chad Amond, President and CEO of the Westmoreland County Chamber of Commerce. Our guests today are Cindy Leonard. She is the Executive Director for the YWCA in Westmoreland County, and Alexis Hough. She is a new employee for the YWCA, and she works for the Makers program. And how can people join the Makers program to apply and be part of the program?
Yeah, so we just had applications open for our first cohort on January 27th, and those will be open through February 19th. They can apply on our website. It's YWCAmakers.org. And we are really just looking for anyone who is ready and interested to make this investment into their business. It'll involve like I was saying, the 12 weeks of business classes. So those will be once a week in the evening. We absolutely want people who are still doing their 9 to 5 and are interested in and getting out and doing something on their own. So we want to make it really accessible to everyone. As far as the thrift shop selling, we are open one evening a week and on Saturdays, so they'll be able to be there with their products even if they are still working that 9 to 5. And I think that the best part about getting in early is that we are offering 50% off tuition for our first cohort. So this first cohort is coming in, they get 50% off, and we have some really awesome workshop instructors lined up who are either makers themselves or are involved in the making business. We really want to connect the makers in Westmoreland County and kind of empower them with knowing these are makers who've done it. These are makers who've quote unquote made it. So I think that that's what's really exciting too.
And if you don't think you have a business, we had mentioned, if you have a business, you don't have to have a business per se. If you have a craft that you're doing, you qualify for this program. What we cannot help you with is, I want to make something. I don't know what to make. You're going to have to do some Googling or surf Pinterest or YouTube or something. We can't help you with that. But if you already make something, like Alexis, for example, makes the best crochet animals you ever saw. So creative. If you have a product, we can help you. One of the classes is going to be, I think, an attorney we have, Abigail Salisbury, I believe, who's going to teach the legal part up, how to start up your business, how to do all the filings and all that kind of thing.
So what do other people make?
We are really open to whatever the makers are making. We say that we have reasonable space in the thrift shop. If you're making bed frames, we still want you to be a part of the program, but you're probably not going to fit your bed frame in our thrift shop.
We'll take photos.
We will take photos. It'll be great. But we're furniture making, sculpture, jewelry. It really runs the gamut. We're not...
What did we see at Handmade Arcade when we were there in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, so many purses, jewelry.
Glass blowing. Metalwork. What else did we? All kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
there was a
screen printing,
making dog beds out of T-shirts.
Yeah, we're really open to whatever you're making. What makes it unique and one of a kind is the aspect that's going to make your business soar. In my opinion, I think that we would really love to see a diverse group of people, a diverse group of products. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they can make anything from the ring you wear on your finger to the bench you keep on your front porch. We big as small as you'd like, or as big as you want.
Wow.
I have a friend who's a metalsmith. He makes those fire pits, the big metal fire pits. Yeah. He makes them in the shape of the Death Star from Star Wars.
Oh wow.
They're amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
I should probably say Ed the metalsmith. He's out in Coriopolis. You'd have to Google him.
I want a bed for my dog for the penguins. You said before YWCAmakers.org. If a listener can go on YWCAmakers.org, what benefits do the makers get?
So members of the cohort will have the 12 weeks of featured business curriculum, as well as 30 days of consignment in the thrift shop in our new corner, as well as expected attendance at one of the things that we're doing to really engage the community, because one of the bigger goals is to connect the maker community in Westmoreland County, is we're having Makers Meet Westmoreland, and that's a meetup group through meetup.com. That is open to anyone in the community who is interested in networking and meeting with our makers. That will be a part of what they do as the curriculum, as a chance to network with one another, to learn from one another, and to get to be connected with more constituents, more people in the community, more people who might want to buy their dog beds, Mm-hmm. So those are some of the kind of featured things, as well as we will maintain a digital presence for them on our website. They'll have a profile on our website that will connect to any of their digital presence that they request, as well as it is our intention to keep a pretty active alumni network once we have some people through the program. Maybe they can help vet, like, this is a hidden gem makers fair or a craft show that I go to and I do crazy sales and it's awesome. You should apply next year. So just kind of building a community of makers, which is the overarching goal of the program.
We're also working on partnering with SCORE at St. Vincent to maybe do some mentorship of our alumni.
Wow.
Yeah, they're a great organization out there as well.
SCORE has presentations at the chamber office all the time. you brought it up. How can the community engage in the program? Do you have office hours or something like that?
So the makers will have Meet the Makers hours when they're on consignment. They'll do 3 a week. So they will be with their products in our thrift shop so they can come and meet those makers and see what work they're doing. Maybe even if they make something like jewelry, they'll be making while they're hanging out in the thrift shop. So that is one of the options for the community to come in, meet the makers, and engage. Another great opportunity, like we said, is the meetup. And one of the things that I really want to see happen with the meetup is we want to go all over Westmoreland County. We want to find partners and places in the community that are already supporting makers in Ligonier, in New Ken, in Murraysville. We want to be able to take it to everyone and to show them that Westmoreland County is connected and here are makers that you can connect with throughout. So that is really one of the goals, is we're going to start this meetup in our location because we know Greensburg, and then we're working to find all kinds of community partners. We had a great meeting with Rewind Reuse Center and Export, and they are really excited and on board with everything that we're doing. Eclectique in Latrobe was really welcoming when we asked about advertising with them. We think that there's a community that is really interested in this.
Well, you brought up New Kensington and Menneson and Murraysville and Ligonier. Do you have the office in downtown Greensburg? Are you going to have the makers for downtown Greensburg?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So, everything, the classes are at our office in the Hough Mansion on Main Street. The thrift shop is on Maple Avenue in Greensburg. When we talk about going out in the county, we're envisioning that the makers meetup will be at different locations around the county. We'll move it around. So everybody has a chance to attend and not necessarily drive an hour. It's a big county.
Oh, yeah.
It's a huge county.
I always say it's approximately 100 square miles lower than the state of Rhode Island.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we don't have 2 senators.
No. So, the idea, and as far as the meetups go, the best thing right now, because this is, we're launching, today's our launch, actually. The website went up last night, final product. The application is online today. So the meetups, what our plan is when we get that first cohort, during the orientation, we're going to say, hey, y'all. Yes, I said I'm from Westmoreland County. I lived in Georgia for a while. Sorry about the y'all.
Well, yeah.
It happens. It happens and people laugh at me. Anyway, we're going to ask them, what is best for you? We don't want to make an assumption that a breakfast meeting is best or a happy hour is best. So we're going to ask the first cohort, what would you like to do? And if it's a breakfast, great. If it's a lunch, great. We are going to go with what their suggestions are. And maybe, who knows? It could be that there's a happy hour in New Ken, there's a breakfast in Ligonier. We're gonna let it grow organically and see what happens.
Approximately how many people are going to be in the first cohort?
There's 20 people per cohort.
Oh.
That's the plan.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what's happening in the thrift shop?
So we are taking a wonderful corner of our thrift shop and we are giving it a little maker's renovation. We're going to have space in there that both physical, like gathering space. We're going to make sure there's room in there for the makers to come hang out with their stuff, as well as space to really showcase and display what is happening. And as Cindy said, we might not be able to fit your bed frame in there, but we are going to have a multimedia display that will go with the thrift shop so that those people have, maybe they have a video of them making, maybe we have a series of their creations on a slideshow. But one of the things that we're really excited and would love to engage the community with is having some events around that corner. We're going to have a launch party. I think that's already kind of, we're like, yeah, let's break it out in style.
And everybody wants wine and cheese, but our thrift shop manager is always, she's worried about the clothing and the carpet. She's like, no wine. Okay, we won't have wine.
So a lot of these events that we can see happening might be one of our community partners, and do you want to come shop after hours? You bring the snacks, we've got the shopping, and they can shop Maker, but they can also shop our wonderful deals in the thrift shop. If you're not shopping at the YWCA thrift shop, you need to be, because I'm telling you right now, the deals are too good. As a young professional, always trying to, build out that career wardrobe. It has been great, and I've only been shopping there since I started at the Y.
I was going to say, you didn't know it was there until 2 months ago.
I didn't know it was there.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's wonderful, but we want to have people, maybe you have a private shopping event. Maybe we have the doors wide open for a community event. Whatever it takes to engage the community, we're open to ideas and we're open to partnering for sure.
So you brought up YWCAmakers.org, and I mean, we only have a few minutes for the interview. How can people stay connected to the makers?
Yeah, so one of the tools that we are utilizing, a wonderful tool, is meetup.com. It's how we're going to organize that networking group. And again, if you are a maker at heart, but your hands just don't follow, this is the place for you. This is how you're going to engage with this program. You're going to come meet our makers, maybe offer them support or connect with them, or just find some really awesome homemade, unique goods for your Christmas and birthday gifts. We're also on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all the places you can find and connect with people. It's how we've been engaging with a lot of people. A lot of times when makers are kind of in the stage that we're looking for, which are people who maybe they've dabbled in selling. I made a sign and I threw it up on Facebook, and like 3 people instantly wanted to buy it, and that's awesome. But like, what do I do next? A lot of them utilize things like Facebook. Like, it's a really wonderful tool. Sales platforms like Facebook and Etsy are kind of a good jumping off point for people, and we want to meet them where they are. So I think that those tools are going to be ones that we encourage and help grow as well. So find us on social media, connect with us on our website. Our application is open. It'll be open through February 19th, and the cohort will begin March 4th, and they're going to be running Wednesday nights for this first cohort.
Well, you're on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. I'm on MySpace. I'm pretty old. I mean, last question. If we're sitting here next year, celebrating what's great for the makers, what would you have this role be, and what did you achieve?
If we are sitting here a year from now, we will have ran 3 cohorts by the end of the year. We hope to stay connected with those folks so we can see, what was your sales like before you went through the cohort? What are your sales like now? Did we help you? Which is the whole point of this, is to help people make more money, have income, be more business savvy. We have all kinds of people have been, since we started talking about this program, people have had so many different, we've been writing down ideas left and right. You can't possibly implement everything people tell you, but one of the neat ideas for year 2 or year 3 or something is to sort of have a maker's fair. So we went to Handmade Arcade, the big 10,000 person a day at the David Lawrence Convention Center event in Pittsburgh. And while we know we don't have a convention center of that size or have that kind of space, it would be great to have some kind of fair like that before Christmas or maybe before Thanksgiving, so that people can come buy presents, handmade items.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Get all the makers that are in the alumni network to, showcase and be there in the space, have tables. So that's one idea we're entertaining, for the future potentially.
So we have to end the interview, but anything that you want to have the listeners know?
Just that we're really excited about this program and all the other programs going on at the YWCA this year. Visit our website, the main YWCA website, YWCAWestmoreland.org. It has everything you could want to know on there. We've mentioned the makers, YWCAmakers.org. We have a separate site for that because there's just so much info we had to put on there.
Yes.
And that we look forward to seeing you either at the thrift shop, at the mansion. If you have questions, call or stop in or send us an email.
Well, thank you for being on the show. You've been listening to Westmoreland Community Connections on Hometown Classic Hits 107.1 WHJB. Thank you very much, ladies, for being on the show. Join us next week, same time, same place, for another edition of Westmoreland Community Connections.
This has been Westmoreland Community Connections, a look at issues and happenings in and around Westmoreland County. Join us again next week on Classic Hits 107.1 WHJB.
Westmoreland Community Connections is a presentation of Citizens Fiber,